The Google Pixel 8 Pro is a satisfying showcase for how artificial intelligence is being leveraged in a greater way in our phones, with a smarter, more human-sounding Google Assistant at the helm. Even with a $100 price hike over its predecessor, the Pixel 8 Pro stands out thanks to these AI improvements. I was really hoping that the Pixel 8 Pro would keep the same $899 starting price as its predecessor, but that wasn't meant to be. While I am bummed that you now need to shell out $999 for the Pixel 8 Pro, it's still technically cheaper than the Galaxy S23 Ultra and iPhone 15 Pro Max, both of which now cost $1,199. Despite the $100 price hike over the Pixel 7 Pro, Google still undercuts many flagships in the Pixel 8 Pro's class. Pre-orders for the Pixel 8 Pro are available right now, with general availability in stores and online starting on October 12. In a standard flagship format, the Pixel 8 Pro is available in 3 color options: obsidian, porcelain and bay. The latter blue shade is the most charming of the bunch if you ask me, but I also like that there are 5 colors option to choose from the Google's official Pixel 8 Pro case. I'm a little annoyed that the base storage option of the Pixel 8 Pro still remains at a 128GB. By comparison, Apple and Samsung upgraded the starting storage option of their flagships, the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Galaxy S23 Ultra, to a more reasonable 256GB. If you need more storage, the Pixel 8 Pro will also be available in 256GB, 512GB and 1TB storage options, costing $1,099, $1,199 and $1,299 respectively. At first glance, I think most people would overlook some of the Pixel 8 Pro's subtle design changes, but the changes make it much better to use in the hand. Its design DNA still doubtlessly comes from the Pixel, evident in its camera hump and metal trim. I am drawn instantly to 2 changes with the Pixel 8 Pro's design. The first involves the phone's new matte finish, which makes it more grippy in the hand. Its slight contrast over the sleeker feel of the glass meets metal construction of the last couple of generations of Pixel phones, so I am delighted by this new change. I am also in love with the bay color option with its lighter bluish hue versus the usual black and white selections. The design choice that makes me skeptical about what's going on here is Google's decision to revert back to a single piece of glass with its triple camera arrangement. I've actually shattered the similar one onto the Pixel 6 Pro, so I was thrilled to see Google addressing it by having 2 separate pieces of glass with the Pixel 7 Pro. Going back to a single piece of glass makes me leery because it makes the cameras vulnerable. I would definitely suggest investing in a camera cover case. Beyond that, the Pixel 8 Pro's design doesn't look radically different. It feels good in the hand, seems solidly constructed and features the same IP68 rating, all of the qualities I expect in a premium flagship phone. After spending more time with the Pixel 8 Pro's new temperature sensor, the more I realize it's not as practical to use as other implementations I have seen. The sensor's positioned on the back of the phone just underneath the camera's LED flash. You would think it'd be used to measure your body temperature, which it should do later since Google is seeking out FDA clearance for that purpose. At the moment though, the Pixel 8 Pro's new sensor is meant to measure the surface temperature of the objects. While there are logical reasons to do this, such as knowing if the ground's too hot for your 4-legged friends to walk on, I think I'd rely more on common sense for that. Nevertheless, you need to keep the sensor about 2 inches away from what you are measuring. However, you will also need to select what type of material you are trying to measure through the thermometer app, which I suppose is necessary to get a more accurate result. I just can't see the practicality of this, especially when there are laser temperature guns and thermal cameras that could effectively do the same things from the further distances. Take, for instance, phones that have built-in thermal cameras which can measure heat signature from faraway distance. I just don't understand Google's logic behind the temperature sensor, which ultimately feels more like a novel addition than a necessary tool. One of the biggest shortcomings about the Pixel 7 Pro was its display. It simply wasn't as bright as other flagship phone screens. Fortunately, Google's looking to change that with the 6.7-inch 1344 by 2992 Super Actual display of the Pixel 8 Pro, which is rated to reach 1600 nits with HDR brightness and 2400 nits peak brightness. Google's confident about the improvements of its new display, and our benchmark testing reveals it's one of the biggest around. Reaching a peak brightness output of 1526 nits, it nearly matches the iPhone 15 Pro Max's peak output of 1550 nits. Compared to the Pixel 7 Pro, pitiful 927 nits of brightness produced in our testing, the Pixel 8 Pro panel blows its predecessor away. I saw this firsthand when I took the two devices outside to watch a movie trailer, with the Super HD display being substantially brighter and easier to see. It also helps the Pixel 8 Pro's 120Hz refresh rate gives it that battery smooth look while scrolling through websites and across the interface. The refresh rate scales from 1 to 120Hz, which should help save on battery life. I was skeptical at first, but I have to admit it's a relief that Google improved the display for this new phone. This is where it gets exciting for the Pixel 8 Pro, which further differentiates itself from the standard Pixel 8. On the back, the Pro rocks a triple camera arrangement, a 50MP main camera, 48MP ultra-wide camera and a 48MP telephoto with 5x optical zoom. The biggest change here is ultra-wide camera, which jumps up to 48MP compared to the Pixel 7 Pro's 12MP shooter. That, along with its 5x zoom telephoto lens, are the two main distinctions of the Pixel 8 Pro's camera versus Pixel 8. Of course, this would have been a prime opportunity for Google to extend the range of its telephoto camera, but it's been left to the same 5x telephoto range as it's the Pixel 7 Pro. I am a little bummed by this because the iPhone 15 Pro Max made the jump to 5x zoom as well, so Google no longer holds an advantage over its rival when it comes to zooming. As you could expect, everything about the cameras on the Google Pixel 8 Pro are better, with Google claiming improved low-light photography, sharper selfies, and its best zoom yet. The main camera proves that with this shot of Bethesda Terrace in Central Park, details are plentiful while dynamic range is handled well between the shadows in the trees and the brighter spots where the light's hitting them. Compared to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I also like how the Pixel 8 Pro image has a higher contrast. Check out the details. I can't stop focusing on how the Pixel 8 Pro is one of the smartest phones I have ever came across. For once, I can confidently say that it's the assistant I need to make my workflow more efficient and streamlined. All of the AI assisted features in the Pixel 8 Pro reveal how it takes all the complications in our lives and makes them uncomplicated, like how editing photos is a clinch with Magic Editor, or how call screen intelligently responds to phone calls. Even better, I am satisfied knowing that the Pixel 8 Pro improves on every aspect over last year's disappointing Pixel 7 Pro. This new Pixel is a far stronger contender in our best phones list, but it's hard to overlook how the competition still beats it in a critical areas such as performance, battery life, and cameras. Honestly, all of those areas have improved here, but the competition still does it better. But at the same time, it's impossible to dismiss how the Pixel lineup continues to undercut the competition in price. You will save a couple $100 by choosing the Pixel 8 Pro over its closest competitors. So in that regard, it offers all the value I had wanted to find in a flagship phone. Really, you won't be disappointed by the phone, especially when it's the only phone that I can confidently count on to answer phone calls for me where I can't.